Let's fight. Let's fight, folks. A very good evening to each and every one of you. Let's fight. Wherever you guys are joining us from, whether it's at home here in Guyana, you're in the diaspora, or it's around the world. So good to have each and every one of you in the ring with us. Good to have you guys. Good to have you guys. We want to see those shares as you come on. We want to know where you guys are joining us from. We see Charles Clark is with us already. Folks, you're in the right place this evening. It's Pashway Monday, and we have with us this evening Mr. Aubrey Norton. He's going to be joining us in just a few. In just a few, folks. Let's fight, guys. Let's get ready. You know, you got to share the live stream as you come on. We get through these hot topics. Mr. Norton is going to be with us. We're hearing a lot of stuff transpired today at that protest at the Square of the Revolution. You know, we're going to be having his thoughts on that. We're going to bring you some of the footage, guys. You got to share the live stream. We want the credible comments and the valid viewers only, folks. Good to have each and every one of you in the ring with us tonight. All the usual suspects are gathering. Gather around, children. Gather around. Siobhan McDonald, Carmelita, Don Raymon, Marla, Roxanne Liverpool, Jacqueline George, Samantha Gills, Marcia Griffith, Shelley DeRidder, Mikey Mike. All of you folks, good to have each and every one of you in the ring with us this evening. Guys, we want to see those emojis. Let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know how your day going. Hundreds of you already on the live stream. We're going to have Mr. Norton very early in the program, so don't even go for a cup of coffee yet. You all know when y'all come, y'all got to be strapped in. You got to get your Cokes and your popcorn at your hand reach, guys. We are ready to go, ready with the hot topics, ready with Mr. Norton. So we just waiting on you guys. And we see already hundreds of you are pouring in to the live stream, and we're privileged. Whether you're joining us in the Bel Air of social media, the Pradoville of social media, you're joining us from Twitter, or whether you're joining us from the suburbs, you're on YouTube. Good to see you guys there. Or whether you're in the ghetto, you all know that's how we roll. We in the ghetto. Good to see you folks there across social media, across the world. Welcome in the ring tonight. And after a quite busy and hot weekend, good to be back with you guys. Another week ahead of us. We got a lot of issues to plow through, a lot of trenches, a lot of trench crappos, a lot of jagabats, a lot of the Nakovakamites to deal with, folks. And we're going to be here with you guys night after night until we get to the next weekend. And God knows, we probably will be on over the weekend too. Good to see each and every one of you, Denise Mitchell and Marilyn C. Ford, Cheryl Greenage and Hazel Ramkin. All of you guys, hundreds of you guys have already poured into the live stream, and we are immensely grateful. Share the live stream. I want to see those emojis. Mark Almond, Naomi Morris. Naomi says she's locked and loaded. I think Aubrey Norton locked and loaded and ready to go. He's fired up, folks, and ready to go. I see Don Raymond again, Denise London, Welchman, and Amanda Daniels, Marilyn Thomas. All of you guys, great to see you in the ring. Lexi Boss, good to see you, Lexi. Oswina Tappin, great to see you as well. And Andrew Cuthbert, wise up. We got to wise up. Horace Thomas and Phil Bunn, Roseanne Langevine, Raquel Peters, all of you guys across social media, across the diaspora. Some of you guys are joining us right here in the region, in the Caribbean. Some of you are in South America, Latin America, further north, North America. Some of you guys are in Asia, in Europe, Canada, all of those fantastic places. Folks join us from Japan. Folks join us from Korea, all around the world, folks. Welcome in the ring tonight. Again, we're going to have Mr. Aubrey Norton with us. So if you guys know somebody who would want to hear from Aubrey Norton this evening, guys, you got to share the link. Whether you share the link from YouTube or Facebook or wherever to WhatsApp. Let folks know. Aubrey in the ring tonight is Pashway Monday. And we call it Pashway Monday for a reason. Good to see each and every one of you. Cecile Ogle and Orwin Don Cook, Kwame Wilkinson, Vanessa De Silva, Nicola Jones. Good night to each and every one of you guys. Welcome in the ring. Welcome, guys. Welcome in the ring. Let's fight, guys. Great to have each and every one of you again. Welcome in the ring, wherever you guys are joining us for. We are tremendously privileged. I see Dawn Raymond says that she's getting ready to fight. No. We are we getting ready. We ready. Guys, we are ready to fight. And again, so privileged to have each and every one of you here with us. In the interest of time, I know Mr. Norton has a busy schedule. We are going to forego our little housekeeping this evening, and we're going to move right into the hot topics. And the first hot topic deals with Mr. Norton, and we're going to have him on right there, guys. We are fired up, guys, and we are ready to go. I know you guys are gathering around. Hundreds of you are already on the live stream, and again, we're privileged. We are privileged that so many of you keep joining us night after night. We know we all come back for. Y'all like the confusion powder, apparently. Is it confusion powder for y'all? Is it the Jagabats for y'all? What is it? What is it? What is it, people? Good to have each and every one of you with us tonight. We value all of you folks, all of you guys, whether you're trenchies, whether you're Nakovakamites, whether you're Scrasses, whoever you be. We know who we is, and that's the important thing. Good to have each and every one of you with us, guys. And as we said, we are in the hot topics this evening. And as you guys would have known, welcome again. Let me wake some of you guys up. Let me wake you guys up. Let's fight, folks. Let's fight wherever you guys are joining us from. I love that bell myself. Folks, wherever you guys are joining us from, welcome. We're privileged to have each and every one of you. And we are off with a speed this evening, guys, and it's protests. It's protests all across the length and breadth of this country, ladies and gentlemen. All across the length and breadth of this country. And today was the same day. More protests in the skin, more protests. And just today, I think Mr. Aubrey Norton was part of that, of showing solidarity with those folks who would have gathered on the square of the revolution there. Whatever went, the police stepped in. I shouldn't say whatever went wrong. The police gonna be the police. Stepped in, and we learned that Mr. Norton was detained and later released by the police. They can't hold Aubrey. Let me tell you, they can't hold Aubrey. They know why they release him. They know it's Pashway. It's Pashway, folks. They released Mr. Aubrey C. Norton, and we are privileged to have him here with us tonight. But before we get to Mr. Norton, we want to show you guys some of what transpired out there at the Square of the Revolution just today, to bring some of you guys up to speed as to what transpired. And then we're going to get right into that discussion, right into our conversation with Mr. Norton this evening. But take a look at some of what would have transpired at the Square of the Revolution today, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look, take a listen.
I can't see me brother getting call and knock up my
You want it run ready to run ready.
Welcome back, folks, and that is just some of what will have transpired today at the Square of the Revolution. That being said, we are privileged to have Mr. Norton. As we said when we started the program, Mr. Norton was showing solidarity with those persons who would have been at the square, and he was detained by police very briefly and then released. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Aubrey Norton. We're privileged to have him in the ring with us this evening. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, and to you and your viewing audience, and thanks for the welcome.
Great to see you, exercising your liberty this evening. Tell us a little bit. We saw some of what transpired there at the Square of the Revolution, and we know, the reasons differed for a lot of people for being out there. Some were, some were protesting rather the mandatory vaccination. Some were voicing their concerns about the high cost of living in the country of recent, and all were protesting this dictatorship that we have in the installed PPP. What were your own reasons for being out there?
Well, first of all, I believe all Guyanese have arrived at the conclusion that this regime is incompetent. Their handling of COVID is a manifestation of their incompetence. The handling of the economy is a manifestation of their incompetence. Cost of living going up, etc. The protesters are of the view that the People's Progressive Party is a racist party and it is not governing in the interests of all Guyanese. That also would have brought some people out there. Corruption is back again at its highest level. That will also would have brought people out there. So I believe essentially what has happened is that people have been responding to the ills of the society as a result of poor governance on the part of the People's Progressive Party. It is compounded with a dictatorship. They are using COVID as a tool of repression. In fact, today when they came to arrest me, the first thing they said was that I was violating COVID. So I said to them that this sounds stupid. First of all, I have on a mask. Secondly, the only people that are 3 feet close to me are the police. And the third thing is that it is after 5 in the morning, so it cannot be I am violating the curfew. They later decided that they will charge me for being involved in an illegal procession. And I said to them that that is also manifestly stupid, because when the police drove the vehicle up to me, this is a white 4x4, I was by myself, is as they tried to put me in the, to arrest me, to put me in the vehicle, that a number of persons came around and said, no, you can't arrest him. And they arrested all of them. So 15 of them and me ended up in the station. I told them very early that as far as I'm concerned, this is a bailable offense. And I find that the police has targeted me because there was a policewoman out there. She was specifically pointing me out. And so I knew that she was targeting me. Of course, I know from my history of reading political struggle that once you become involved in political struggle and you're confronting a dictatorship, you have to prepare to come into conflict with the police, because repressive states use the police to achieve their objective. Mandela had to battle for his life. Julius Nyerere, Burnham in his early days here in Guyana. So one accepts that in the process of standing up against injustice, there is a high probability that you will come into contact with the law. And note I say contact and not conflict, because there was really no violation of law. I believe essentially it is the PPP's response to the work we did in the United States, including pointing out their behavior and making it very clear to all and sundry that they are not governing Guyana as one Guyana. They are creating two Guyanas, and they are generating problems in Guyana. And so people came out and protest. People are also annoyed with mandatory vaccination. And I want to make it clear, nobody is opposing vaccination. I haven't heard any one of the persons who said they really oppose vaccination. What they oppose is the government seeking to mandatory vaccinate people. And I think they are opposing the fact that when the PPP came to government, they said COVID was a fake. And then as some of their members started to drop like flies, they started to accept that it's a credible call. But even with that, They are not dealing with COVID with the aim of finding solutions. They are using COVID as a tool of repression. They're using COVID to arrest people. And at the same time, they have many of their supporters having a nice time. I mean, you only got to pass sleeping and you get an idea of the double standard. And so we have got to be prepared to confront this regime because this regime is dictatorial. And this regime is using COVID to repress people. And while they are bringing out the police in Region 4, we've seen protests in PPP stronghold in which the police are absent. And when they are present, they are innocuous. They do nothing. And so it is evident that they have targeted the APNU AFC. They have targeted our stronghold, and we have to fight back. I am clear in my head that if you lie down, they can beat you still. So it's best you stand up and in a position to fight because it is the nature of the regime. They are dictatorial and they want to dominate Guyana and Guyanese so that they can control the wealth and continue to ensure it is shared among the PPP elite, even excluding a large part of their support base. So they have to be confronted. That is the reality. I believe they set out to intimidate. He who is intimidated will never succeed. And so I urge all to stand up against it. We should not be afraid. This is our country. They are talking about us. We pay more tax than anybody else because 90% of our support base work in the public service as teachers, etc. So we are the taxpayers. It is our money they are spending, and they don't have a right to be corrupt, steal our money, distribute it to who they like, and so they must be confronted. That's the reality we're dealing with.
Mr. Norton, thanks for that. Thousands of Guyanese, were out there at the Square of the Revolution this morning. Thousands of Guyanese. The PPP seemed as though they were at pains to try to paint a picture to the public that all was well in the capital, but they must be, scratching their heads this evening. They must be very, very worried by that tremendous turnout.
Well, I believe it's just the beginning. Look, we didn't mobilize across the coast, We mobilized in Georgetown alone. People in Georgetown were the focus of what happened. I believe at some stage this has to become national because people all across the country are facing the blunt of this PPP dictatorial attitude and approach. And so I believe what they have done today is to ignite the protests. And I believe people are more mad now than they were earlier today. And so we see what the future holds.
Mr. Norton, you did talk in your presentation there about what's happening with the teachers, what's happening with the nurses, what's happening with COVID. Even some of the police seem very, reluctant this morning to carry out these orders. I've never seen anything like we saw on the square. In the last 5 years, this is almost strange to us. We saw the PPP protest this government almost in every turn in the last 5 years, but we have not seen the police force respond like this morning, over the past, 5 years or so. Are we back to pre-2015? The PP seems to want to go back there as against having a very progressive country and very liberal ideas.
If you are a repressive regime, you cannot tolerate other ideas. And therefore, they have to go back there because they do not want the involvement of anybody outside of themselves. I mean, Irfan Ali with this garbage about recognizing him. It is the ballots that got to recognize him, not us. And when you look at what happened in the ballot boxes, they were guilty of fraud. They can try their best to suggest anything else, but the evidence suggests that they are there illegally and installed. And so a lot of the people in the Guyana police force are facing some of the same problems. When you were talking to the policemen having difficulties feeding their children. The policemen know full well what is happening. They live in communities. Of course, they will select a few policemen to do their dirty work. We have to isolate them. But in general, the Ghana police force is feeling the same pressures that we feel. When that policeman takes off his uniform, he stands there as an African Guyanese who is facing all the challenges of the African Guyanese. While you are restricting African Guyanese to a house lot, you are giving away thousands of acres to your support base. That must affect the Guyana police force. And so we have to skillfully be in contact with the people in the Guyana police force, and it is clear to them that our struggle is their struggle, and therefore we will not be divided on this issue. One of the things a repressive regime likes is to use the police and the military against their opponents. And as a repressive regime, we have to prepare for them doing that. They are not going to come themselves. They are going to seek to use the police. We have to educate the police and let the police understand that, look, then increase your wages and salaries. Look, they give you a bonus in the previous government, coming back with the same garbage, knowing full well that it wouldn't add to your salary and therefore increase your pension at the end of the day. So what they're doing is using a strategy to impoverish policemen and women, and at the end of their term, they will be left with a pension of next to nothing because the PPP put up this facade of a bonus. And I think we have to begin to oppose this talk about bonus. The bonus must be tapped on the increase in salaries, because it is an increase in salaries that will carry you up and at the same time give you benefits at the end. When I give you a bonus, when they give a bonus, they're hoping you're going to spend it out and you're dependent on them. Then, like I said, we have to carry a struggle for real land. Independence comes with land. And this nonsense about a house lot, yes, our people must get houses. But if you give a house lot and then they have to run to the bank in system to build the house, is a totally different ball game than if you're given agricultural lands or lands of business. They can develop business and then they can pay it and decrease their dependence. And so we have to see the struggle in a holistic way. The PPP is seeking to subjugate us. I was saying in an earlier post in the year that it's a creeping apartheid, but it looks like they want to carry us back to slavery. Well, I am not going to allow any regime to enslave me. They have killed Waddle. They killed Crummy Wing. That is one of their options. But it is better to be dead than to be alive as a slave in 2021. And therefore, we have to confront this regime. That is the bottom line.
Mr. Norton, on that note, my penultimate question, as we were coming on, I saw elsewhere they're still talking, they're still struggling to have a narrative on what really and truly are the successes of their 1 year in office. There's been tremendous failure, and one of them we see, I know you are an expert in international issues. Locally, we see what's happening with Venezuela. They seem to almost have conceded the Corinthino River to Venezuela, and we see what the Venezuelans are doing at home. They are united in claiming our territory. I was made to understand this afternoon that Ali said he's now going to take his complaint to somewhere in the region. Does government understand what they're doing? I mean, to state the obvious.
I think they've always been at sea at foreign policy. Look, this government is transactionalist. They know for make illegal and corrupt deals. But to develop the intellectual capacity to negotiate difficult things like the Guyana-Venezuela territorial controversy, they are at sea. And if you look at who they appointed as a foreign minister, There is nowhere he has the intellectual depth and capacity to take on international diplomats and to unreticulate, to unravel the intricacies of foreign policy. Look at their approach to Suriname. If you start to talk about Suriname granting license to Guyanese fishermen, you are in some regard quietly acknowledging or trying to give away whatever rights we have to the Corentyne River. Now, clearly, they are at sea in foreign policy. When it comes to the Ghana-Venezuela territorial controversy, I do not believe that they have an effective frontiers division that can deal with all of these issues. They haven't shown me that they have the capacity to engage Brazil and involve other Latin American countries that have interest in Venezuela not being aggressive. They haven't shown that. They haven't even shown the basics of choosing the correct language to use in a territorial controversy. Some of them, you still hear them talking about border issue. There is no border issue. The border was settled in 1899 by the arbitral award. What you have is a territorial controversy which will go before the international court, and the international court is expected to determine based on law the validity of that award. And there is no doubt that the award is valid. So I believe that they need help. And I do believe we should unite on the territorial controversy and the Suriname issue, because we are all Guyanese and we want to live here. But you can't want to crucify us locally, crucify us, and then hope that we will do everything to help you. We are disposed to give in what help to deal with the Ghana-Venezuela territorial controversy. But at the same time, we expect you to respect our people and their rights and cut the nonsense out. Irfan Ali, I think, is a bad example of who can represent us at the international level. Just to listen to him, he won't be able to influence any negotiator. So we really need to put together a proper team to deal with this issue. And there are many other issues that are emerging. We have the question of Exxon and all the money they spend lobbying to rig elections. They should have spent some of it on getting an approach which will allow Guyanese to benefit from what is happening here. But they don't care. As long as the couple of them benefiting and they're making money, they're fine. The rest of Guyana could punish, regardless of ethnicity. And so we have to deal with them. That is the bottom line here again.
Very well. Mr. Norton, finally, I know you have a busy night ahead of you. You have a tremendous sense of what is the mood of the people nationally in our nation. Where is the soul of the country at this juncture in our history?
Well, there are a number of trends that you have to look at. First of all, the PPP is instilling fear in people. And some people, we will have to work for them to overcome that fear. And I want to say to the people that are afraid tonight, you cannot be afraid of people who want to destroy you. If people want to destroy you, it's like people come to your family and they slap your son and you run inside because you're afraid. They're going to slap your daughter next. But if when they come to slap your son, you stand up and clap two slapping them, then they're going to recognize it's a fight. So the first thing I want to say, we have to work with those people to overcome that fear. The second thing I want to say, there is a large percentage of our people who are prepared to take this regime on. All they need is leadership. And we will give them the leadership because they are feeling the blunt and the brunt of this regime. And so they intend to take them on. At the same time, all the noise they are making, people aren't doing business. There might be a few PPP protected companies all sleeping in them that might be enjoying life. But generally, business is not being done. And so we have to mobilize those people who are interested. And then I come to the Indo-Guyanese community. A lot of them disagree with what is happening. But the PPP instills fear in those communities. Most of you will know one of the hardest things to do is to be Indo-Guyanese and support the AP and UAFC. The Bandung one butcher shop. They brutalize others. A young Amerindian boy in the Asikwebo, remember what they did to him. So they also use violence against people. But people are arriving at the point where they are opposing it and standing up to it. And then they are working on how do they close off social media. You know, the biggest problem is social media. They thought when they took control of all the radio stations, all the newspapers, and all the TV programs, the message wouldn't go out. Unfortunately, they didn't analyze that social media can provide a platform, and so people are now being educated on these issues, and it has also put a check on them, because a lot of what they do will end up in the public domain. And if you look at the handling of COVID, anybody who look at the government ministers will see they are going to communities. People are not social distanced. They are packing to what we call it. They're talking to them, the police protecting them, but they are violating COVID-19 regulations. So it's a struggle that has many elements. There are a lot of business people who are opposed to the handling of businesses. Some allowed to open, some not allowed to open. And we have to analyze all of these moods and develop strategies in keeping with each section of the society and pursue it. For instance, there are a lot of people for different reasons who don't want to be vaccinated. And mind you, the people that created the most anti-vaccination hysteria
Sentiment, yeah.
is the PPP. From the beginning, they came to power, and they themselves remove any trust in COVID measures. So if anybody is to be blamed for what is happening in COVID, it has to be placed squarely at the feet of the PPP. And then the health minister is a sailor in a boat without engine or paddle. And even though he's trying to pull it with his hands, it is moving so slow it can't get ashore. So we're in a real dilemma. Marked incompetence across the regime. And every now and then they bring the prime minister or somebody to tell people to get vaccinated, when they themselves were saying to people, don't worry with vaccination, don't worry with COVID, it's a hoax. Now it's a tool of repression.
Mr. Norton, for the folks who are pushing back against this installed regime, the mantra is boots on the ground. I'm hearing that boots are on the ground tomorrow again at the Square of the Revolution from 10 o'clock. Is your boots on the ground? Or are you backing down?
My boots will always be on the ground. One of the things I always try to do is to stay on the ground. Your best educators are your people. When you relate to them, you learn a lot. And when I look at the leaders who have been successful, one of the characteristics of them is that they stay in contact with their people. While they might be in the elite position of leader, government, senior official, that characteristic of staying in the ground, being in contact with your people is critical. And that is why today I felt obligated to ensure all the persons who were arrested with me were treated properly, and when I'm going, they go. Because if you abandon your people, they lose faith in you. And I want to urge all the leaders, religious, etc., to come out, work with our people. They are committed and focused, and let's do this together and ensure that we first of all bring to a halt the dictatorial nature of the PPP and finally remove them from government.
Very well. Mr. Norton, I want to thank you for coming by this evening after such a hectic day and bringing some clarity to your detention and release and giving us a sense of what is happening nationally and giving context to it as well. Thank you, Mr. Norton.
Before I go, I want to thank all those overseas persons who called and exercised support, and all the Guyanese at home who would have expressed support. I'm indeed thankful. And I want to say, for me, the most important thing today was the hundreds who came in front of Brick Dam to ensure I am released. To them, I want to say thank you. I have an abiding faith in you, and I will continue to serve you and to work with you so that we oppose this dreaded dictatorship that has become a blight on Guyana.
Thanks again, Mr. Norton.
Thanks for having me.
And folks, there you have it, Mr. Aubrey Norton, a fighter, folks. Let's fight. This is the program. We gotta fight, folks. We gotta fight on the ground, boots on the ground. We ain't backing down. Thank you again, Mr. Aubrey Norton. Operates as the executive director of the office of the leader of the opposition, a leader in his own right. And I think is doing a very, 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 very good job. And again, I want to thank him for stopping by this evening. Folks, that's wrong one. Let's fight. So much more to get through this evening in the ring, and great to see each and every one of you. You all sharing this live stream: Shirley, Alexis Mitchell, Coretta Millington, Lisa Pitt, and Desiree Smart, Felix, Debbie Apple, Samuel Mingo, Kim Westmoreland. Kim, I see the thing, girl. I see the thing. You all sharing this live stream, folks. So much more to get through here in the ring. Let's get right to it. No time to waste. As a matter of fact, as I delayed my housekeeping, let me jump on that even now and to say to you very quickly, folks, that we cannot do what we do here in the ring without your help, without your support, without your love. And that is why we're asking you guys to come on board and to support what we do here in the ring, help us to grow from strength to strength. We are asking you guys to come on board and partner with us on a monthly basis. $5 US, $10 US, $15, $20 US to help us to expand what we're doing here. There's a Cash App feature that is available to you. It's $, in the ring 592. Again, that's $, in the ring 592. We also have the PayPal system. It's in the ring 592 at gmail.com. In the ring 592 at gmail.com. That's our PayPal system or PayPal platform. And then you have the MMG, which is the local system. The MMG, and our number there is 627-6963, 627-6963. And if you guys have any queries, you guys can also WhatsApp us on that number. We're also available on MoneyGram, and there's also Western Union available to you guys. Again, any queries, 627-6963, WhatsApp us there. Folks, moving on in the hot topics this evening. And again, lots of information to share with you guys, and we trust that you guys are sharing the live stream so that we can move ahead. Lots of information to share with you guys, and you're going to want to stick around, folks. It's Pashray Monday. It is Pashray Monday here in the ring, folks. Let's fight. You know, if you're going to be in this ring, if you're going to be ringside, guys, we got to share the live stream. Let's fight, folks. Let's fight. Moving on there in the hot topics. Oh, look what's happening with the prison system. Look what is happening in the prison system, folks. It is confusion powder. Confusion powder. I was made to understand that a prisoner would have died over the weekend as a result of being stabbed by some fellow inmates. So while there's a fight happening in the prison system, it's not only with the inmates, it's in the leadership of the prisons also. It is with the leadership of the prison, not only with the prisons, but the fire service in particular. Look what's happening in the fire service. So the fire chief, Calamidine Edo, was in court today. He was in court today, folks. And what reason took him to the courts. He is being accused of tampering with the official promotion list. An officer, I think at least one officer, took the fire chief to court for tampering with the official list. Again, it's an accusation. And we have discussed this matter on this program before, but again, the fire chief was before the court today. I think he was released on self-bail. But this kind of tampering, even though it's an allegation, seems to be something right out of the PPP's playbook. This tampering, this interference, and again, we've spoken about this on this very program, about how the PPP like to swoop down and to interfere in matters that should be dealt with independently. For instance, we spoke about how Irfan Ali, as the installed president, has interfered with the Police Service Commission. And Paul Slow has made it very public that Irfan called him seeking favors. While these institutions should be very independent. And then just the other evening, we discussed in this program as well, the interference happening at the Public Service Commission. And it was Patrick Yard who told us that Gail Teixeira interfered with the Public Service Commission. Interfered with the Public Service Commission. And now we're seeing these allegations of the Guyana Fire Service and interference again with that promotion list. And one has to wonder, ladies and gentlemen, where else interference happening? We can only wonder, where else is interference happening? And so that is what is happening on the front lines there, ladies and gentlemen, as it concerns the fire service chief. And this allegation that he's interfered, like Irfan Ali, with the promotion list of the fire service. We were made to understand that that list has been approved months ago, but they are dragging their foot on it for their own reasons. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, we turn our attention to the soup drinkers. And you all know we got lots of soup drinkers among us. It is no secret. And this past Raymon Monday, we're looking at one of them. We are looking at one of them. Now, this is the one we're focusing on this evening. Dr. Asha Kissoon. She's heading to the Bahamas as an elections observer. Y'all remember Dr. Kissoon? I won't fault y'all. So inconsequential has her role been in this new party, the new movement. You remember they had big resignations the other day? Well, Kissoon drinking soup. She is drinking soup. How do you think Kissoon getting to go as an observer, as an elections observer to the Bahamas elections? Y'all know who going there too? Bruce Golding. Well, we don't know Bahamas changing government. Because if Asha Kissoon and Bruce Golding on the same team, we know what happening. So Dr. Kissoon knows what she has done and the part she played in the last election. And so she's getting her 30 pieces of silver now. Ladies and gentlemen, soup drinker, Dr. Asha Kissoon. She is getting her 30 pieces of silver, so she'll be leaving soon. They couldn't find anybody else with credibility in their administration. No, they picked Dr. Asha Kissoon. So we don't know she gone already. The new movement is no more. They have moved over. Their movement has gone over to the PPP. So she's heading now to observe election. First time she out the block with new movement that already disintegrate. And she has built up enough experience to go and observe election. My God. Soup drinker. Moving on, folks. The Jagabats. Let's take a look at the Jagabats. You all know them. I know them. We all know them. The PPP, they're Jagabats. Nolene Fraser, not so. Gansham Tukur, not so. They're Jagabats. Denise London Welchman, Ariel Abrams, Shirley Alexis Mitchell, they are Jagabats. You all know them. I know them. We all know them. Guyana Georgetown Andrew, Yes, they're Jagabats. I like that surprise look. Farouk Haq, they're Jagabats. Patricia Asana, Novella Noble, Jagabats. That's who they are. Look at this Jagabat here now. Look at this one. Joe Hamilton. He has come out to say how the teachers strike illegal. Now, this is the same fellow, the same Jagabat, who told us just a few weeks ago that to deny workers entry because of vaccination to your work site is illegal. This same Jagabat. And then he started to switch his mouth. He come back and say, oh, the legal department and the Ministry of Labor looking into it. Looking into it. Now, all of a sudden, the teachers strike illegal. Sit down, Pholourie Joe. Pholourie Joe, humble yourself. Pholourie Joe, humble Tate. Sit down. Clearly, you know what you're talking about. You sell too much Pholourie in your lifetime. Go back there. We haven't forgotten the young woman who approached the Ministry of Labor like thousands of Guyanese. She was burnt on her work site, working in an oil rig. And you all had no redress for her. You didn't think her being burnt on her job site was illegal. But here you are now. Here you are talking. Ladies and gentlemen, here is what he said recently. Here is what this Jagabat said recently about the teacher strike being illegal. Here's what this Jagabat said. He said, any action that you call strike or protest against the Ministry of Education has no basis. It is illegitimate and it is illegal because you have no grievance with your employer. Huh? Being locked out of your work site is not a grievance. That's not a grievance. He said you cannot strike against a government policy position enacted by the Ministry of Health. Huh? So Joe can tell me what we must strike for and not strike for? Huh? Didn't we see Gawu strike several times on the Apnu AFC on government policy position? Here this Jagabat, I'm saying to you teachers, that is the reason why your president and your general secretary has not written and will not and cannot write the permanent secretary indicating that there will be a strike action based on these grievances that they have with their employer, the Ministry of Education. Eh? This Jagabat, we can take that from anybody else, not Pholourie Joe. We are not taking that from Pholourie Joe, ladies and gentlemen. They are not credible. They are not honest interlocutors. And while he's talking about the teacher strike being illegal, kudos, ladies and gentlemen, kudos to this head teacher from Shitanka who stood up for her teachers. Kudos to her. And that was just today, while he talking about strike being illegal. Just today, listen to this head teacher. Look at this head teacher demonstrate leadership, bravery, and courage. Listen to her.
Please allow these teachers to come and provide these children. Please allow these teachers to come and provide these children. The person upstairs there is prohibited. Kindly observe the protocols, the COVID protocols, and keep your distance away from each other. Thank you. You all are clustered up there. It is my responsibility to make sure you follow the COVID guidelines. Keep your distance, please. Do I have to take up my mask for you to hear me? Kindly keep your distance. You have to be 6 feet apart from each other. And I'm speaking, I still see people standing close together. Kindly leave. Not the security fire. Oh, wait, stop run the school. Not the security fire. We look not the security fire. You gotta do your job. Just look and look at these children. None of us Please allow these teachers to come and supervise these children. Please allow these teachers to come and supervise these children. The clustering upstairs there is prohibited. Kindly observe the protocols, the COVID protocols, and keep your distance away from each other. Thank you. You all are clustered up there. It is my responsibility to make sure you follow the COVID guidelines. Keep your distance, please. Do I have to take up my mask for you to hear me? Kindly keep your distance. You have to be 6 feet apart from each other. And I'm speaking, I still see people standing close together. Kindly we let not security you gotta do your job.
And that's that. While Joe talking about the strike not being illegal, well, rather being illegal, and the teachers not having any grievances, you trying to tell me the teachers being locked out is not a grievance? Being locked out of the school is not a grievance? Madness. Madness. And while that was happening on that front, ladies and gentlemen, we want to bring you guys up to date on where we are on COVID-19. Because a lot of things happening that this government cannot give an account for. Lots of things happening on the COVID-19 front. For instance, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all are sharing this live stream. The information is too important. Much too important. The General Registrar, Bishop Edgell brother, Raymon Cummings, is COVID-19 positive. Bishop, one Edgell. Now, his brother is the General Registrar at the General Registrar's office. It's on the top floor of the GPO. They're not related to the GPO by any means, but their office is there. What is more, not only is he COVID-19 positive, ladies and gentlemen, he is fully vaccinated. He is fully vaccinated. And we have reshared a post on our Facebook page at Sherry Avery Duncan. Like those pages, share the live stream of where he posted on Facebook his blue book showing that he's fully vaccinated. Not only that, here is what he said. Here is what Mr. Raymon said on WhatsApp just today. This is what he said. Don't take our word for it. These are his words. He said, after a number of persons in my office tested positive for COVID-19. Y'all sharing this live stream? After a number of persons in my office tested positive for COVID-19, I went to be tested and was found to be positive. I was found to be positive. I am fully vaccinated. This is Mr. Cummings himself. He says he is fully vaccinated and feeling fine. No symptoms and feeling fine. Thank you for your interest. This is things for share. Fully vaccinated. That is what Mr. Cummings said. Even though he's feeling fine, he said he is fully vaccinated. This brings a lot of things into questions. Number one is, no fault of his, Mr. Cummings was going to the office, getting a free pass through security with his blue book, and he COVID positive. Going to the office every day with his blue book, and he's COVID positive. And again, I want to stress, no fault of his, because in his mind, he has taken the vaccine. And according to his blue book, He took the AstraZeneca. He took the AstraZeneca, the first dose, on the 6th of the 4th of this year, and then the second dose on the 1st of July of this year, on the 6th of June, and then the 1st of July. He took the dose, first and second dose. And now he is COVID-19 positive. So he is going to work every day, COVID-19 positive. Again, no fault of his. So going easy on him in that respect tonight. No fault of his. But interacting with people who come to register births, come to register deaths. People take their babies there in that area. Weddings are had there. As he had said it in that WhatsApp message there, after a number of persons from his office tested positive, how many persons did they give COVID-19 to from the public? And God knows those staff perhaps too had their blue books. So what is this government talking about, having your blue book as a measure and validation and verification of not being COVID-19 positive? Again, Mr. Cummings had his blue book going to work every day and infecting other people with COVID-19, and the blue book says he has taken his first dose and second dose. The question could be asked, is Mr. Cummings' book fake? Is Mr. Cummings' blue book fake? Because I see the Ministry of Forestry coming down on their staff saying that they have a feeling, the Forestry Commission rather, the Guyana Forestry Commission, stating that they got an impression that several of their staff got fake vaccination books. So they have asked the Ministry of Health to verify. This is the Guyana Forestry Commission. Who is going to verify the books? Perhaps at the post office. But let us assume everything is regular there. Let us assume regularity, the presumption of regularity. Mr. Cummings was going to work every day. And he's COVID positive, having taken his 2 doses, first and second dose, having his blue book in his possession. One wonders how or why we're seeing such an escalation, especially in the regions where they have a high degree of vaccination. Y'all don't take our words for it. Look at those regions where you have a high percentage of vaccination as against other regions, like Region 10, that they always say they are very concerned about the vaccine hesitancy in Region 10. But we've seen that high incidence of COVID positive cases as we're seeing in other places, ladies and gentlemen. So again, look at what Mr. Raymon said in his own defense. He says after a number of persons in his office tested positive for COVID-19, I went to be tested and found to be positive. I am fully vaccinated and positive, no symptom, and feeling fine. And he tells the public in his WhatsApp status, thanks for your interest. And so what the proposition should be for the administration as against harassing people, the public knows, because I've seen the public putting out this suggestion out there that every person, every citizen, the government of Guyana should stand the expense for them doing a PCR or a rapid antigen test. The government should stand the expense of doing a PCR or a rapid antigen test for every citizen in this country. And we know that the US immigration accepts, for instance, the rapid antigen test. So the government don't have to worry about that. Again, it is frightening, the policy that the government is forcing down the throats of Guyanese. Oh, you have to be vaccinated. You have to have a blue book so that you don't infect others. And then here is Mr. Raymon Cummings, the brother of the Fisher Bishop. Again, perhaps no fault of his, because he has done what the law has required. He went, he took his vaccination. First dose, second dose. Going to work, assuming that he's COVID-free and he's COVID positive and infecting other folks. I would like to know how many other persons at the General Registrar's office, not only COVID-19 positive, but also are fully vaccinated and got the blue book. And the government owes this country, the government owes this nation, ladies and gentlemen, an explanation. We cannot just brush by. We cannot just brush by and pretend like this is not happening. What do we tell the thousands of people, thousands of teachers being locked out? What do we tell them? The thousands upon thousands of teachers being locked out of schools. And I'll show you another instance in Yakasari. What do we tell them? The brutality, the embarrassment. What do we tell those teachers tonight? The high-handed nature in which this government has been operating. What do we tell them? Professional people locked out. It's a shame what this government is doing. And again, I cannot stress enough, no fault of his. The man went, took his first and second dose, and has been going to work. He's installed, we understand that. But there are other facts. He's been going there, doing what he has to do, not knowing he's spreading COVID-19, got the blue book and think he's safe. While government locking out our teachers, ladies and gentlemen, look what was happening in Yakasari just today. Look what was happening in Yakasari just today. And this is Borbis. Just today.
So these are teachers. We are standing out here because two of our teachers are locked out the gate by the security guard because the teachers forget their vaccination card. So he's the big and bad. He's going to lock them out. And he's going to go and teach them, the kids inside. So these are teachers, parents standing with us here. We shall put it on the internet so everybody should see the treatment we get in.
We will stand right here and let him see.
So these are teachers. We are standing out here because two of our teachers are locked out the gate by the security guard because the teachers forget their vaccination card. So he's the big and bad. He's going to lock them out. And he's going to go and teach them, the kids inside. So these are teachers, parents standing with us here. We shall put it on the internet so everybody should see.
And he is locking them out for a blue book. He is locking them out for a blue book, ladies and gentlemen, that offers no security. Even if you are fully vaccinated, no security. And that is the reality of it. Don't take our word for it. Take Raymon Cummings, their own PPP members' word. The blue book is offering you no security. Fully vaccinated or one dose vaccinated. Because Mr. Raymon Cummings told the nation that he's fully vaccinated both doses and yet he's COVID positive. Frank Anthony, we need a word out of you. Barry Ramsaran, all y'all pack up there earning millions off of the taxpayers at Ministry of Health. Leslie Ramsamy, we need a word from you. Irfan Ali, what is happening here? COVID is out of control in this country thanks to the ineptitude and incompetence of the whole pack of you. And y'all should resign and go. Oh, for the life and progress of this nation, y'all pack your bags and go. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our program for this evening. Unfortunately. And as we go, we encourage you guys to partner with us. Again, we cannot implore you guys enough how we need your support to continue to move this program forward, continue to expand, continue to shed light on what these jagabats are doing, folks. And we cannot do it alone. And that is why we're asking of you guys to come on board and partner with us. We need your help to move forward, to expand, to grow, to bring you more information. More information. We cannot give up. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. And this program for us is boots on the ground. Bringing you the information. Bringing you the information. Bringing you the news. bringing the value of what is happening in our country right to you guys. And so, folks, at Cash App, we're available at the $ in the ring 592. Cash App is the $ in the ring 592. Also at PayPal in the ring 592 at Gmail. That's our PayPal address, in the ring 592 at Gmail. We're also available on the MMG system. It's 625-6963, 625-6963. And any queries you have, you can WhatsApp us on that very number as well. We're also available on MoneyGram. We're also available at Western Union. And we covet your support, guys. We thank you for helping us, for partnering with us in this way. Folks, $5 a month, you can partner with us for $10 a month, $15 a month, $20 a month. If you want to go more than that, be our guest. But we need your help to continue to bring this fight to the PPP. Thank you guys for joining us. And as per normal of late, we are going to stick around and give a few folks a shout out. But we want to thank, I'm pulling a prayer there. I want to thanks. Stop it. Stop it. Folks, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in the ring this evening. Again, you are the folks who make this program exactly what it is. We want to thank you guys for spending this time with us. We want to thank Mr. Norton as well for coming by and again adding so much context. Let's fight, folks. Adding so much context to that issue. Boots on the ground there tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Square of the Revolution. Peaceful protests, persons exercising their constitutional rights, their democratic right, folks. Keep it peaceful. Watch for intruders. You know they can send plants there to disrupt, to cause confusion, to give us a bad name. Stay focused. Hold the focus, people. Hold the focus. And know tonight, there is no safety in that blue book. There is no safety in first and second door. Don't take me word for it. Ask Raymon Cummings. Ask the bishop, brother, and all that he see far, he didn't see that. All the bishop and prophet he didn't see that. I tell you, this time is a lot of false prophets. It is a lot of false prophets. Not so Kim Walker, Hazelin King, not so, is a set of false prophets. He didn't see what right on the doorstep coming. But Tino Nijman, not so. Y'all sharing the live stream, folks. Yolanda Moore, not so. Andrew Beresford, great to have each and every one of you. Whether you guys joined us on Twitter or on YouTube or on Facebook, you are in the Bel Air of social media, the Pradoville of social media, the Twitter. Some of you are in the suburbs of social media, YouTube, or whether you guys were in the ghetto. That's where I like to be. Good to see each and every one of you. Linda. Let me see Linda's surname. Linda McCalman. Good to see you, Linda McCalman. Kim Walker and Marsha Glasgow, Roxanne Liverpool. Guys, we need you guys to come on board and partner with us. The ways in which you can do that, it's pinned to the top of my Facebook page at Shirley Avery Duncan. Like that page as you at it. I want to see those emojis, people. I want to see those shares. Boots on the ground. Share the live stream. Wayne backing down. Boots on the ground. Wayne backing down, people. Good to see you, Cornel Henry. Abigail Othniel Passad. I wonder what this person look like. Laverne Peters. Good to see you. Lindsay Lohan. Oh, God, we got some celebrities. Oh, need your autograph, Lindsay. Blessed Child. I see Joylyn Cook and Sharon Joseph, Brenda Braffett. Good to see each and every one of you folks. It was a privilege having you in the ring with us this Monday evening, first day for the week, guys. And we are fired up. Our boots on the ground tomorrow. Good to see each and every one of you. Charmin Beaton, and it's okay. It's okay, says boots on the ground. So I guess it is okay. Andrew Cuthbert, Shondell Ward, Amarnath Passad. Good to see you, Amarnath. Good to see you there as well. Joining us on YouTube, Dolet Asana. Good to see you, Dolet. Pray for Raymond Cummings. Those of you who are fit, pray for our brother. Andrew Cuthbert, Josephine, Yonette Glasgow. Good to see you there, Yonette. And Diane Lewis, Sandrine Baird. Good to see you there. Raquel Peters, Spurley. Good to see you, Spurley, as well. Great bunch of folks. Good to see each and every one of you. Kim Clark. Good to see you as well, guys. You see I'm sweating here? Y'all know why you want to speak. I put the AC in this place now. Good to see each and every one of you. Partner with us, people. You can't go wrong. $5 a month, $10, $15, $20. Partner with us. You cannot go wrong. It's a good investment. Marcia Griffith, good to see you there as well. Claudette Harry, good to see you, Claudette. Why is it not Claudette sing we good? Once is not Clara Singh. Right? Bilal Mohammed, good to see you. Bilal Mohammed, good to see you. Charlene Jordan, good to see you as well. Good to see you, Paulette Hicks and Simone Phillips. All of you guys who took time to be in the ring this evening. We are privileged, we are humbled, we are heartened to have each and every one of you, wherever in the world you guys are joining us from around the world. I like to say that. Those of you who are joining us from around the world, great to see all of you. Karen McFoy, good to see you, Karen. How things now, Karen? Oh, Maxine McDonald, good to see you. And also Wendy Denny. Great folks. Guys, it's our privilege. We love having you guys ringside. We love having you guys ringside. And we want you guys to help us to keep it going by partnering with us first. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. We ain't backing down. Boots on the ground. We ain't backing down. Boots on the ground. We ain't backing down. Boots on the ground. Guys, y'all see that is a one-man show, you know. I'm a one-man show. Let's fight, folks. Let's fight. Great to have each and every one of you in the ring with us, folks. It was our pleasure and our privilege having you guys ringside this evening. Shalon Hilliman, Horace Augustus, good to see you there as well. All of you precious folks, all of you blessed folks, blessed child and precious favor, all of you guys. Thanks for joining us in the ring this evening. We're going to see you guys right back here tomorrow night, same time, same place. We're in the ring, folks. Let's fight. We gotta fight. We gotta fight. We gotta fight. We gotta fight. All right, school over. Good to see each and every one of you. Stay safe, guys. Continue to social distance. Wear your mask. Sanitize. Practice all the COVID-19 protocols that are in place for your health and your safety, that of your friends, family, and loved ones. Thanks for joining us, folks. Thanks for joining us.